What if I told you that the most exhausted person in your office is probably the one who seems the most okay? She replies to every email with a smiley face. She remembers everyone's birthday. She says, "I'm great, just busy," so many times that even she has started to believe it. But at 5:47 p.m., when the meetings are done, when the Slack notifications go quiet, when she finally sits alone in her car in the parking garage, she doesn't move. She just sits there, staring at the steering wheel. And the tears come before she even understands why.
No trigger, no reason. Just release. She wipes her face, fixes her mascara in the rearview mirror, drives home, and by the time she walks through the front door, she is smiling again. Because that's what she does. That's what she has always done. If you have ever lived inside that kind of silence, this story is for you.
Her name was Claire, 34 years old, senior marketing manager at a mid-sized tech company in Chicago. The kind of woman people described as a rock, the kind of woman who got things done, the kind of woman everyone leaned on without ever asking if she needed someone to lean on too. On paper, Claire had everything: a good salary, a beautiful apartment on the north side, 2 rescue cats named Biscuit and Fig, a group chat with her college friends that was always full of memes and "we should catch up soon" messages that never turned into actual plans.
She worked out 3 times a week. She meal prepped on Sundays. She had a skincare routine with 12 steps and a journal she wrote in every morning. From the outside, Claire was thriving. But here is what nobody saw. Claire hadn't slept a full night in 8 months. Not because of insomnia, not because of stress exactly, but because every night around 2 a.m., she would wake up with this hollow feeling in her chest, like something important was missing, and she could never figure out what it was. She would lie there in the dark, listening to Biscuit purr beside her, scrolling through her phone, not reading anything, just moving her thumb, just trying to feel connected to something. And then her alarm would go off at 6:15, and she would get up, make her coffee, put on her face, and go back to being Claire.
There is a word psychologists use for what Claire was doing. They call it emotional masking. It is when the gap between how you feel on the inside and how you present on the outside becomes so wide, so practiced, so automatic, that you no longer even notice you are doing it. You just perform. And Claire had been performing for a very long time. It started when she was 9 years old. Her parents went through a difficult divorce. Not loud and dramatic. Worse than that. Silent. Cold. Full of long dinners where nobody spoke. And a mother who cried in the bathroom with the tap running, so Claire wouldn't hear.
And little Claire, small, perceptive, deeply feeling little Claire, decided somewhere in her 9-year-old heart that her job was to make things lighter, to smile when the room got heavy, to laugh when the silence got too long, to be the one who was fine so that nobody else had to worry. It was a beautiful thing she did, a loving thing, but she never stopped doing it. She carried that 9-year-old's job all the way into her 30s, into every relationship, every friendship, every workplace. Always the strong one, always the capable one, always the one who said, "Don't worry about me," even when she was drowning.
It happened on a Tuesday. Not a dramatic Tuesday, not a Tuesday where anything particularly terrible occurred.
just a regular Tuesday in November. Claire had back-to-back meetings from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. She presented a campaign deck she had spent 3 weekends building. Her manager said it was good, but needs more energy. A colleague took credit for an idea she had shared in a brainstorm 2 weeks earlier. And at lunch, she sat alone at her desk, eating a salad, scrolling through Instagram, watching everyone else seem to be living their lives, while she sat in a building under fluorescent lights, doing work that felt increasingly like it had nothing to do with who she actually was. At 5:30, she packed her bag, said goodbye with a smile, walked to the parking garage, got in her car. And something different happened. She didn't cry this time. She just sat there, completely, utterly, terrifyingly numb, and thought one very quiet, very clear thought. I don't know who I am anymore. Not said dramatically, not said with tears, just observed, like noticing the weather. I don't know who I am anymore. And that quiet, flat, emotionless moment scared her more than any breakdown ever had. Because at least when you cry, you can feel something. Numbness is different. Numbness is what happens when you have been strong for so long that your own nervous system has given up trying to get your attention.
Claire called her friend Dara that night. Not to talk about any of it. She called to make plans. Brunch, she thought. Normal conversation. Safe. But Dara picked up and said, "Hey, you okay? You sound different." 3 words. You sound different. And Claire opened her mouth to say, "I'm fine." The words she had said 10,000 times. And instead, she said, "No, I'm not okay. I haven't been okay in a really long time. And I don't even know what okay would feel like anymore." Silence on the phone.
Then Dara said very quietly, "Thank you for telling me that." Not what's wrong, not you should see someone, not but you always seem so together. Just, thank you for telling me that. And Claire sat on her kitchen floor, biscuit crawling into her lap, and she cried. Not the parking garage kind of crying, not the fast, wipe it away, fix your mascara kind.
The real kind. The kind that sounds ugly. The kind that comes from somewhere old and deep. The kind that means something is finally moving after being still for far too long.
Claire started therapy 3 weeks later. Not because she had a crisis, not because she hit rock bottom, but because she finally gave herself permission to need something. And in therapy, she learned things about herself that she wished someone had told her 20 years earlier. She learned that being strong for everyone else is not the same as being okay. She learned that the smile you wear to protect other people eventually becomes a mask you wear to hide from yourself. She learned that somewhere along the way, she had confused performing well with living well. And she learned, slowly, imperfectly, some weeks better than others, how to ask for help.
Not in a dramatic way, not with a breakdown or an announcement. Just small, quiet, brave moments of honesty. Saying, "I'm struggling a little this week," instead of, "I'm great." Leaving a meeting early when she was overwhelmed and not apologizing for it. Texting Dara at 11 p.m. sometimes just to say, "Hey, can we talk tomorrow?" Letting someone else be the strong one for a change. It did not fix everything overnight. Healing never does. But something shifted. Because here is what Claire discovered, the thing that changed everything. The people in her life didn't need her to be okay. They needed her to be real. Her realness, her honesty, her vulnerability did not push people away. It pulled them closer. I want to speak directly to you now. If you watched this far, if something in Claire's story felt familiar, I don't think that's an accident. Maybe you're not crying in parking garages. Maybe it looks different for you. Maybe it's the exhaustion you can't explain. The 2 a.m. scrolling. The feeling of going through motions in a life that looks fine from the outside. The smile you put on before you walk through doors. The "I'm fine" that comes out before you've even thought about whether it's true. I want to say something to you that maybe nobody has said in a while. You are allowed to not be okay.
You are allowed to say, "I'm struggling," without having a reason big enough to justify it. You are allowed to take up space with your real feelings, not just the comfortable, presentable ones. The world does not need more performance. It needs more presence. Your presence, your real one, the unpolished, unfiltered, sometimes falling apart version of you. That person, the one you've been hiding in the parking garage, is not your weakness. That person is the most honest thing about you. And honesty, real, quiet, terrifying honesty, is where connection begins.
Claire still has hard days. She still catches herself performing sometimes. The old habit doesn't disappear completely. But now, at 5:47 p.m., when she sits in her car in the parking garage, she doesn't wipe her face and rush home. She texts Dara, or she calls her sister, or sometimes she just sits there and lets herself feel it, without judgment, without rushing, and she says to herself, quietly, "This is hard, and I am still okay." Two things, both true at the same time. If this story meant something to you, share it with someone who smiles through everything. They might need to hear it more than you know. And if you are that person, I hope today is the day you let someone see you, the real you. That's enough. You are enough.